Something strange is going on. At least that's what the internet is saying. Jim Carrey recently appeared in Paris looking noticeably different, and fans immediately started asking questions. When footage of him at the 51st César Awards dropped online, social media exploded. But people weren't focused on the award itself. They were focused on Jim. At the ceremony, Jim Carrey received an honorary César Award, which is basically the French equivalent of an Oscar. That's a massive recognition for his decades in film. During the event, he even attempted part of his acceptance speech in French, joking about how challenging it was. But instead of celebrating the moment, the internet went straight into detective mode. People started analyzing everything: the way he looked, the way he spoke, the way he moved. Some viewers said his energy felt different from the Jim Carrey they remembered, and then the theories started rolling in fast. One conspiracy theory that took off online claims the man seen in Paris wasn't the real Jim Carrey at all. Some fans suggested he looked younger, smoother, or altered in some way. Others pointed to differences in his jawline, teeth, and facial structure. A few even claimed his eye color looked different in newer footage compared to older interviews. That's when the word clone started trending. Yes, some people actually suggested the real Jim Carrey had been replaced. According to these theories, Hollywood's most outspoken critic might have been silenced and replaced by a look-alike or clone. It sounds wild, but online conspiracy communities started connecting it to things Jim has said in the past. For years, Jim Carrey has spoken openly about his views on fame, politics, and the nature of reality. He has criticized government corruption, corporate greed, and what he calls capitalism without a conscience. His speeches often sound philosophical and intense. In one well-known moment, Jim talked about how society can become dehumanizing when money and power override compassion. He compared modern systems to industrial machines grinding ordinary people down. Those comments earned praise from some fans and criticism from others. Then there was that viral red carpet interview years ago, where Jim shocked everyone with his existential philosophy. When a reporter asked him about attending a glamorous party, he said something that stunned viewers. "There's no meaning to any of this. I wanted to find the most meaningless thing I could come to and join." He went on to say he didn't believe in personalities or icons, and that identity itself might be an illusion. He described humanity as a field of energy dancing for itself. At the time, many people thought he was joking in typical Jim Carrey fashion. Others believed he had become deeply spiritual and philosophical after years in Hollywood. But now that old clip is resurfacing again.
Researched my whole life on what the entity was before I got there, My intention was to get in there and kick up some dust and try to become a whistleblower that they don't knock off. Because, they get all the whistleblowers.
Fans are comparing that thoughtful, introspective Jim to the smiling actor who appeared in Paris. Some people say the energy feels different. Others say he looks like he's playing a role rather than speaking from conviction. Still, there are much simpler explanations. Celebrities age, lighting changes, cameras distort color. Eye color can appear different depending on lighting, lenses, or even colored contacts. Cosmetic procedures are also extremely common in Hollywood, especially for actors who have spent decades in the spotlight. Jim Carrey is now in his 60s, and public appearances naturally look different from clips filmed decades ago. But conspiracy theories rarely stop at simple explanations. Some online commentators claim the real Jim stepped away from Hollywood years ago around 2017. That was around the time he started painting, making political art, and speaking more openly about the entertainment industry. Others believe he began revealing too much about how fame works behind the scenes. Those theories say powerful people wouldn't allow such a major star to keep speaking freely. Again, there is no evidence supporting those claims, but the internet loves connecting dots. Some conspiracy fans even compared the situation to stories told by rapper Kid Buu, who once claimed cloning facilities exist in the United States and said he himself escaped from one. Those claims have never been verified and are widely considered internet mythology. Still, when celebrities behave in unusual or philosophical ways, speculation spreads fast. Jim Carrey has always been a unique personality in Hollywood. His comedy career was built on exaggerated expressions, wild energy, and unpredictable interviews. Over time, he evolved into someone more introspective, sometimes spiritual, sometimes deeply critical of fame itself. That evolution can look dramatic to people who only remember the high-energy Ace Ventura or the Mask era. But transformation doesn't mean replacement. It's far more likely that Jim Carrey, like many artists, simply changed over time. Fame, success, personal experiences, and aging can reshape how someone speaks, thinks, and presents themselves. Still, one thing is clear. Whenever Jim Carrey appears in public, people pay attention. Whether he's delivering a philosophical speech, making a strange joke, or accepting a Lifetime award in Paris, the internet will analyze every second. And when the internet starts analyzing, the theories are never far behind. During interviews about celebrity conspiracy theories, some internet personalities have made wild claims about cloning technology. One viral moment involved rapper Kid Buu, who said he believed he was a clone created from mixed genomes. He even claimed memories could be transferred through fragments of bone containing consciousness. According to him, scientists could copy a person the same way someone copies music from a CD, transferring everything into a new body. Those claims sound dramatic, but there is no scientific evidence proving that human memories can be transferred during cloning. Modern cloning research has been used mainly with animals, like Dolly the sheep, who was successfully cloned in 1996. However, cloning an adult human with identical memories and personality has never been proven possible with current science.
Tell me, is it true you're wandering the streets? You need a date to the party? What's up?
No. I'm doing just fine. I just, there's no meaning to any of this. So I wanted to find the most meaningless thing that I could come to and join, and here I am.
They're celebrating.
I mean, you got to admit it's completely meaningless.
Well, they say they're celebrating icons inside.
Celebrating
Do you believe
icons,
in icons?
boy, that is just the absolute lowest aiming, possibility that we could come up with. It's like icons. Do you believe in icons? I don't believe in personalities. I don't believe that you exist, but there is a wonderful fragrance in the air.
You don't believe certain icons have the power to make change, to think differently, to be bold, to inspire others? Artistry? You're one of them.
On the good foot. Ha! Yeah. You shut her down now. Yeah, no, I don't believe in icons. I don't believe in personalities. I believe that peace lies beyond personality, beyond invention and disguise, beyond the red S that you wear on your chest that makes bullets bounce off. I believe that it's deeper than that. I believe we're a field of energy dancing for itself. And I don't care.
But Jim, you got really dressed up for the occasion. You look good.
No, I didn't. Was
that an
get dressed
accident?
up. I didn't get dressed up.
Who did?
There is no me.
There's no you.
No.
Still, these ideas fuel a lot of internet speculation. Whenever a celebrity seems different, whether it's their appearance, behavior, or energy, conspiracy communities sometimes jump to the conclusion that the person has been replaced or cloned. That's exactly what's happening now with Jim Carrey. Supporters of the cloning theory say the biggest difference isn't his face, it's his energy. They claim the Jim Carrey people remember was loud, unpredictable, and wildly expressive. The actor from The Mask, Ace Ventura, and The Truman Show had explosive comedic energy that made him unforgettable. But people change. Jim Carrey is older now, and he's spent years exploring art, painting, and philosophy. Many actors evolve over time, especially after decades in the spotlight. Personality shifts, calmer interviews, and a more reflective tone don't necessarily mean someone has been replaced. However, conspiracy theories often connect his personality change to events in his personal life. One tragedy frequently mentioned is the death of Jim Carrey's former girlfriend, Katharina White, in 2015. She died from an overdose, and the case received major media attention at the time. Reports revealed she left a note addressed to Carrey, and toxicology findings showed several medications in her system. Carrey was deeply affected by the loss. Lawsuits were later filed claiming he had provided prescription medications under an alias, but those claims were denied by Carrey's legal team. The case was eventually dismissed and no criminal wrongdoing was proven in court.
Okay. And what nationality are you?
Sicilian and Puerto Rican.
Okay. Sicilian and Puerto Rican. Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that now.
Those
That's
are my
what's up.
2 genomes.
Okay. So who's the Puerto Rican one? Who's the Sicilian one?
When I was cloned, they wiped a lot of memory, but when I stole the documents before escaping, I read that the mother was Puerto Rican and I guess the father, surrogate, you could say, was the sperm donor was the Sicilian.
Okay, so you're a test tube baby.
Yeah.
What's that?
Shout out Clonaid.
Yeah. Well, you could actually, as soon as you die, they could actually freeze your body.
Well, what happened with my first gen is they took the skull because he initially had written in a will to the Raelian movement that if something were to happen to him, they can ship the skull over immediately to Clonaid. So they can remove a fragment of bone that's located here. And in this fragment of bone, it stores all of your memories and consciousness. And with that, they can make a sufficient replica of yourself, a reproductive version of you, including your memories. And you can be selective as to which ones you keep or don't keep. This process has been around for quite some time. Like Dolly the sheep was cloned back in, I think, the late 70s, early 80s, if I'm not mistaken.
Dolly the sheep, yeah, I remember that. And they've cloned a lot of animals over the years.
Yeah, Clonaid, I don't want to say too much information. This is going to be broadcast on the internet.
But I don't think they could transfer the actual memories, though.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're living proof of this?
Yeah, I'm living proof. Except for all the memories. A lot of them I don't have because of drugs and alcohol as a teenager. So it's kind of like burning an MP3 CD, right? So let's say, we don't do this, people don't do this anymore, but back in the day, you would bootleg a CD, you would need the original copy. Mm-hmm. You put it in, it reads the disc, transfers all the files. You have the same exact CD, it's the same thing. All the tracks, everything, every bar, every hit from every note, everything's gonna be on there. Now, if I scratch that CD, I may not be able to read all the files on the disc, making it impossible to...
Despite that, the tragedy continues to be pulled into conspiracy narratives. Some internet theories claim her death was meant as a warning to Carrey because of his outspoken views about Hollywood and powerful institutions. There is no verified evidence supporting those claims. What is true is that Jim Carrey has often criticized the entertainment industry and political systems. One of his most talked about moments came during a late-night appearance when he jokingly referenced secret symbols and Illuminati imagery. In a comedic rant, he held up a hand gesture and called it the all-mocking tongue, teasing talk show hosts about secret signs. The moment went viral. Some viewers thought he was exposing hidden power structures. Others recognized it as satire. Classic Jim Carrey mixing humor, exaggeration, and social commentary. Carrey himself has long blended comedy with philosophical ideas. Over the years, he's spoken about ego, identity, spirituality, and the illusion of fame. He often suggests that celebrity culture distracts people from deeper truths about life. Because of that, his interviews sometimes sound mysterious or cryptic. But that doesn't mean he's secretly revealing hidden conspiracies. In reality, Jim Carrey has simply evolved from a high-energy comedy superstar into a more reflective public figure. Personal loss, age, artistic exploration, and stepping away from constant film roles can dramatically change how someone presents themselves. Still, the internet loves a mystery. When fans compare old footage of a young Jim Carrey to recent appearances in Paris, the differences can feel dramatic. That gap between past and present is exactly what fuels speculation. But the most likely explanation isn't cloning, secret labs, or hidden replacements. It's something much simpler: time, life experience, and personal growth. Even so, one thing remains certain. Whenever Jim Carrey appears in public, people will keep analyzing every expression, every speech, and every interview. And as long as those clips keep circulating online, the conspiracy theories probably will too. One of Jim Carrey's most talked about moments came during a late-night appearance where he joked about entertainment being used as a distraction. In the clip, he sarcastically suggested that talk show hosts and comedians were hired to keep people laughing so they wouldn't pay attention to what powerful figures were doing behind the scenes.
They don't exist. So they're all characters that I played. including Jim Carrey, including Joel Barish, including any of those things. They're all characters. Jim Carrey was a less intentional character, because I thought I was just building something that people would like, but it was a character. I played the guy that was free from concern so that people who watched me would be free from concern.
He even joked about secret meetings in the woods and symbolic hand signs. The audience laughed, but the moment went viral because people couldn't tell how serious he actually was. That's always been part of Jim Carrey's style, mixing humor, philosophy, and social commentary in a way that makes people wonder if he's joking or revealing something deeper. Over the years, Jim has often talked about identity and ego in unusual ways. In one interview, he said that Jim Carrey itself was just a character he created. According to him, the confident, carefree persona audiences loved was something he built so people watching him could escape their worries for a while. That idea surprised many fans. The wild comedian from Dumb and Dumber slowly evolved into someone more reflective and philosophical. Instead of chaotic comedy, his interviews started focusing on spirituality, the illusion of identity, and how fame can distort reality. But not everyone agreed with everything he said. Years ago, Jim Carrey and his former partner, Jenny McCarthy, became very controversial when they publicly questioned vaccine schedules while advocating for autism awareness. Their comments sparked intense backlash from medical experts and public health organizations. The debate became one of the biggest celebrity controversies of that era. Critics accused them of spreading misinformation, while supporters believed they were raising questions about children's health. The topic turned into a heated national argument.
Today was World Autism Awareness Day. You both must be encouraged by all that's happened in this subject since you literally started it.
Yeah, we've come a long way within the community. When I first had Evan diagnosed with autism, there wasn't much of anything. I had to find out about biomedical treatment on the internet after I typed in autism on Google. And out 3 years later now, there's 3 books and many thousands of children getting better because of biomedical treatment.
Jenny brought so much focus to this problem. And kind of that's why I'm here, is I want to bring as much focus as we can to this problem.
You married autism. Well, you're not married, so you live with autism.
When I invited Jenny into my life, I invited Evan into my life. And when I first met Evan, it was like he was on another planet. I wasn't in the room. There was no eye contact. There was no response to dialogue. There was no affection. And over time, I witnessed Jenny pull Evan through the window of unconsciousness and isolation into our world, where he is now a fully functioning person who can communicate, who can connect, and this is through biomedical treatments, GFCF diet, and the therapies that she's talking about. So I believe that autism, in my heart, is preventable
and treatable.
Fully functional.
He's completely recovered, Larry, completely recovered. And he's not the only one. There are thousands in this community that are getting better.
Why did you go so public? I mean, you had an autistic child. He got better. So why are you here?
I could have, hid and not said anything, and Evan would have blended into society. I made a pact with God, though. The day Evan became diagnosed with autism, I said, if you show me the way, God, and show me how to heal my boy, I will continue to teach the world how I did it. And within 1 year of that kind of conversation with God, Evan was undiagnosed from autism.
But it's still shocking to see how many people are ignoring this information.
The American Academy of Pediatrics, I begged and have sat down with and said, why are you not sitting down with our doctors and our scientists who are treating and recovering children with autism? And they refuse to this day to sit down.
I think if there was any possibility that a child was being helped, that someone would listen, someone would take a look. And the fact is, they're not even considering the information. They're not only not considering, they're discouraged.
After that period, Jim seemed to step back from those public debates. Some fans think he simply wanted to avoid more controversy. Others believe he was pressured to stay quiet. There's no confirmed evidence that he was forced to stop speaking, but the shift in tone was noticeable. Meanwhile, comedians like Katt Williams also started criticizing Hollywood and the entertainment industry. Katt has repeatedly claimed that fame often comes with hidden pressures, and that people in the industry sometimes stay quiet to protect their careers. Because both Jim Carrey and Katt Williams have criticized parts of the system, some fans link their comments together. The theory suggests that comedians sometimes hint at uncomfortable truths through humor rather than speaking directly. The idea behind this theory is simple: keep the public entertained, divided, and emotionally invested in politics and celebrity drama, while bigger decisions happen behind the scenes. Whether people believe that or not, media scholars have long studied how entertainment shapes public attention. Still, there's a big difference between discussing media influence and claiming secret conspiracies. Another topic that has recently resurfaced is Jeffrey Epstein's Zorro Ranch property in New Mexico. Authorities have reopened investigations into allegations tied to the property after survivors said they experienced abuse connected to Epstein's network there. State officials have discussed creating a truth commission to investigate what may have happened at the ranch and who might have been involved. Survivors, including Virginia Giuffre before her passing, had previously mentioned New Mexico when describing parts of Epstein's operation. The goal of the investigation is to determine whether crimes occurred there and whether anyone else should be held accountable. When news about renewed investigations broke, conspiracy communities immediately connected it back to celebrities who had criticized powerful systems, including Jim Carrey. Some fans believe his past comments about secret societies or elite gatherings were subtle warnings about networks like Epstein's. However, there is no verified evidence showing Jim Carrey had inside knowledge of Epstein's activities. It's also important to remember that many celebrities have criticized power structures, corporations, or politics without having access to secret information. Philosophical or political commentary doesn't automatically mean someone knows hidden truths. But when a celebrity speaks in cryptic or symbolic ways, especially someone as unpredictable as Jim Carrey, people start looking for clues. That's exactly why the recent footage from Paris sparked so many theories. Fans compared the philosophical Jim from past interviews with the smiling actor accepting an award and wondered if something had changed. Some even combined that speculation with larger internet theories about clones, secret replacements, or celebrities being silenced. So far, there's no evidence supporting those ideas. The most likely explanation is far simpler. Jim Carrey has evolved over time. Personal experiences, aging, career changes, and stepping away from constant Hollywood projects can dramatically reshape how someone behaves in public. Still, the mystery surrounding Jim Carrey's personality keeps people fascinated. He's one of the few celebrities who openly questions fame, identity, and the systems behind entertainment. And whenever someone speaks that way, especially in Hollywood, audiences will keep wondering whether they're joking or hinting at something bigger.